Samhain, full moon, and blue moon blessings to you and all you hold dear. Welcome to the 10th episode of Spilling the Tea. We are 10 weeks in. That's an accomplishment. Thank you to all of you who have listened every week, and welcome to any new listeners. I am very happy to have you along with this tea journey and hope it will inspire you to follow Witches Tea Flint on social media and check out our store. Next time you're on Google, just type in Witches Tea Flint and there we are. It's easy as that. My name is Devana, and I'm the founder of Witches Tea Flint. Again, thank you so much for joining us, especially on such a momentous occasion. It's a beautiful evening, and I am so excited for this moon and all of the energy it's going to bring. Tonight we have a slight deviation to not only talk about a tea base and our herbal blend, we're also going to talk a little bit about the Mexican folk goddess Santa Muerte, who inspired this blend. I am part Cherokee and part Scottish and part Irish, but I've also felt a strong pull to Latino culture. The vibrant colors, the music, the food, the people, the sights, the sounds, the smells, all of it. It's just beautiful to me. The way you see someone who says, I am of Latino heritage, whether that be Mexican, Caribbean, South American, Latin American, they embody a beauty and a mystery and an honor and respect, and it's just intoxicating. I've always been drawn in. To be truthful, I don't know if all I can claim in me is Cherokee, Scottish, and Irish because my paternal grandmother was dropped on the courthouse steps shortly after she was born and adopted quickly after that. I do know she found her mother, but she never really talked much about that. So when the topic came up, it just was dropped really quickly. So who knows? In the meantime, I do have a deep love for the culture, as I do for my indigenous roots and my Celtic roots. So let's talk about Santa Muerte. She is Our Lady of Little Miracles. Some call her the Bony Lady, Saint Death, Skeleton Lady, or Santisima Muerte. She is near and dear to my heart. In fact, I have her tarot deck, and that is just priceless. It is one of the most treasured decks that I own, and I love working with it. I've considered myself a devotee of hers for quite a few years now. She is one of the easiest deities to work with and form a relationship. You can open up a dialogue with her and start working with her with something as easy as a glass of water next to her picture and conversation. You can lay out all your troubles to her, and suddenly you find the energy around these troubles miraculously clearing. She is not one who requires you to make a bunch of crazy sacrifices or daily devotions, although it is a good idea because you want to check in often because she does like helping. Santa Muerte, or Santisima Muerte, is not an official canonized saint. In fact, the Catholic Church has spent a lot of energy to advise people not to worship her. She, in some circles, has become synonymous with the cartels and narcos, and that's kind of sad because she's so much more complex than that. She is highly revered in the indigenous cultures of Mexico and depicted as a skeleton draped in robes, or her cloaks as they call it. She may have a scythe or an owl or holding the world, and her robes are used for many different purposes. If you see her in white, that color is used to purify, cleanse, bring peace and harmony. If you have this statue, it also protects against accidents and misfortune. It's a great one to have on a home altar. Santa Muerte in a black robe is the most potent energy to work with, and most often used to send curses or break curses and protect against curses. She also protects against personal, psychic, and magical attacks. And if you are a Santa Muerte devotee and are being attacked by black magic, this is the cloaked statue that you want to work with for assistance. The red robe of Santa Muerte is for love and passion and sex and attraction. Lovers may call on the red Santa Muerte or construct a red Santa Muerte amulet for a long-lasting and healthy relationship. Single folks, you can use the red Santa Muerte to help you find a spouse. And if you're already married, you can call on her for fidelity for your partner. Santa Muerte in pink is definitely a favorite. She's the one you call on to help control what you see and what others see in the mirror. If you are having self-esteem and self-confidence issues, that pink Santa Muerte is one that you want to be drawn to. She is for self-love and seeing the beauty in everything. The gold Santa Muerte is for money and material gain. This Santa Muerte can be called on to attract money for business success, material wealth, and prosperity. It is commonplace to see a gold Santa Muerte in markets and in places of business. If you're an entrepreneur or a business owner, definitely get yourself a gold Santa Muerte. You'll often see her standing on top of a pile of coins, and then of course the gold robe. I have seen her statue on eBay in this particular depiction, if you're interested. If you're needing a stroke of luck, find Santa Muerte in either silver or copper. She works well for gamblers, for card players like poker, and she is the patron of those who love scratch-off tickets. Santa Muerte in green is used for justice and the legal profession, but she can also be associated with fertility. You can find her most often in the offices of attorneys and judges' chambers, but also for followers who need help in legal matters. The green Santa Muerte is the color of land, which also represents legal jurisdictions and the law of the land and personal property. As a fertility symbol, she can be called on when you need things to grow and flourish, especially if you're trying to conceive. The blue Santa Muerte is for wisdom and creativity. She's frequently called on in the art world for educators, students, and other academics. If you're needing understanding, inspiration, this is the incarnation for you. Santa Muerte in purple is associated with the psychic and spiritual realms. She's helpful when you want to see the future, increase your psychic abilities, and for all forms of dream work. When you're needing healing, call out to Santa Muerte in yellow, or the Amarillo Santa Muerte. This is where she dwells in the realm of health and healing. She's both the patron saint of healers and of the sick, the medical staff, and the patients. You might sometimes see her in a transparent amber color, which can also be used for those who are recovering from addiction. She's very beneficial in that amber cloak. That one's a little bit harder to find though. The brown cloak of Santa Muerte deals in the realm of the dead and spirit world, and anyone who does any sort of spiritual work. If you're wanting to reach out to the other side, the brown Santa Muerte is a valuable emissary. However, this is for more advanced practitioners. Do not just grab yourself a brown Santa Muerte statue and then go hang out in a cemetery, because you might not like what you find. Mark my words on this one. Please make sure you listen. Do not go after the brown Santa Muerte statue unless you are highly skilled in shamanic work. She's very, very beneficial for shamans. Or if you are a highly skilled, highly trained medium. The most popular Santa Muerte, which is the one we see most often, is the rainbow or multicolored robe. She's great if you don't have the funds or the space for 13 robe colors, because these statues are not cheap. And she's also wonderful when you want to work with Santa Muerte on different aspects of your life. In our Etsy store and on our website at witchesteaflint.com, you can find a prayer card that I created last year for her in laminated cardstock. We've had many requests for large print, so we now offer a wallet-sized card, a 3x5 card, and a 5x7. A few months ago, I created a tea for Santa Muerte. I researched the herbs that are sacred to her and spent time with the energies of these herbs to make sure we had the right fit. In our herbal tea, we have rose petals, calendula, orange peel, yarrow, hyssop, and yacon. What's yacon? We'll get to that in a minute. Now, rose petals are sacred to Santa Muerte. We know that rose petals are good for love work and for self-love and for bringing love and passion into any situation. But rose petals are also sacred to Santa Muerte. When you get a new statue of her, leave rose petals around the base, and you can dress the statue in rose oil to consecrate it. She likes that very much. This helps bring about a loving relationship with her and helps you to find love in all you do. Santa Muerte also loves calendula. Now we know that calendula is also considered the sunshine herb. It's a member of the daisy family. It's a wonderful, powerful healer, bringing in those sunny vibrations and that creativity, helping to reduce inflammation. We know that calendula has wealth and prosperity magic. It has potential energy in it, and if you have it around you, it helps you flourish. Brings us a bounty of prosperity and wealth. It's one of those universal, all-purpose, can it do this? Yes, calendula can do this. Calendula is great for protection, for dreams, and working with sun rituals and those fire energies. It helps with legal issues, amping up your psychic powers, and gives you luck in money and love, and protects against evil from entering your home. It's very much a Samhain herb, and when it comes to Santa Muerte, she loves calendula. It's very similar to the Mexican marigolds that are used in Dia de los Muertos ofrendas and the Day of the Dead celebrations. Marigolds are sacred to this time of year because it helps our blessed dead walk the path back to us. It gives them a roadmap. It's like magical GPS. Hyssop is an all-purpose get those sketchy vibes out of here herb. I love hyssop just in general. It has so many biblical properties. But not only that, it is in the mint family. And it's one of those that gives you wise and benevolent energy. It's sacred to Jupiter. And it's also another fire herb. Very, very good for cleansing. And its early history was actually as an air freshener. It has a reputation for boosting your mental sharpness, which helps it also work a little bit in the air element. If you need something purified, a little bit of hyssop in water consecrates the water and helps it act somewhat like holy water would in the Catholic Church. You can use hyssop to prevent nasty and negative thoughts from sticking to you, and it keeps that energy away. It's almost like I'm rubber, you're glue, boing, there it goes. It's a comforting and uplifting herb, and it's wonderful to cleanse and consecrate ritual spaces. Yarrow is another great one that I found Santa Muerte likes. Since working with her, I have noticed that my yarrow continues to bloom until the first snowfall. And with yarrow's love vibes and wound healing, that is always needed. Yarrow's a great companion to keep around, and it is sometimes considered the witch's herb. There's a Gaelic poem that is said about yarrow. I'll make sure we post on the page one of these days because it is beautiful. Yarrow is very protective. It's like I said, wound healer. It is very healing. It reminds us to move with careful and steady intention. It helps us regulate that creative flow, which is why it's a good blood healer, which means it also amps up that creative side that we lacking in inspiration. Yarrow is one that you want to go for to help. Orange peel in this tea is another sacred fruit to her. Since she loves creative people and she loves helping creative people, orange peel helps amp up that creative energy, plus keeps us healthy, vitamin C. Finally, yacon. Yacon is a tropical fruit that has some similarities to an apple, but looks like a sweet potato and it grows in the ground. It has weight loss properties and is super healthy. Since it is a common Latin American food, it was added to the tea. And when I looked at what sort of base would work, because of course we have the herbal varieties and then we have a little bit of a leaded variety because, you know, sometimes you need a little bit of a caffeine boost, or maybe you might need a lot of a caffeine boost depending on the tea. In working with Santa Muerte and listening to her advice and her guidance when it came to making this tea, she wanted something that was light but still had some flowery properties to it. This meant diving into the white teas, and I gravitated to a Baimudan or white peony tea. This is one of the most expensive teas in the world. Kind of hard to get a hold of sometimes because it is the very first picked leaves of the Camellia sinensis. White tea leaves are plucked in the very, very early parts of the growing season when they're still just little buds. You're getting the least amount of caffeine next to kokicha, but it is still a little more potent than the kokicha. And it's tea in one of its purest forms. It's one of the least processed by the tea farmers, which helps preserve its light and natural fresh flavor. And when it's brewed without all the things I add into it, white peony has a very sweet aroma just to start off with hints of spring leaves and fresh cut hay. It is a sweet and mild Chinese tea. And then I come along and add in rose petals, hyssop, calendula, yarrow, orange peel, and yacon. But Santa Muerte has not complained yet. White peony tea, or baimudan, is one of the best teas with its antioxidant properties. Research has shown that it does help improve liver and kidney function, lowers blood pressure, increases immunities. A word of caution with this particular tea, though, with the white peony. It does have blood thinning properties, so if you're on blood thinners, you might want to be very careful with drinking this particular tea. Ask your doctor, make sure it's okay. We want to make sure everyone is safe and healthy and not making themselves worse in the process when it comes to this healing journey that we're all on. All the teas in the white tea family are excellent in preventing cancer. White teas build up the RNA in our blood to black out cancer-causing cells. The white teas are great for your skin, for your hair. They speed up metabolism. They can help new fat cells from forming, and white teas have some of the highest concentration of L-theanine, which helps improve concentration and mental alertness. You can focus better with this tea. White teas are also great for oral health, lowering blood sugar, and reducing inflammation. White peony has not been around that long either. It was discovered in the 1870s when tea farmers started plucking and then sunning the leaves a little bit too early. Word caught on, and so did the flavor. And then in 1920, the production of white peony tea started. It's double withered. It's first laid out to dry inside, and then it's laid out in the sun to dry outside. For most tea lovers, all you have to do is say baimudan, and their eyes light up and attention is piqued. It's truly a wonderful tea base, and I'm blessed to have found a grower who takes such good care of the leaves and gives the tea the honor and respect that it deserves. White tea is known to be one of the most delicate tea varieties because it is the least processed. So if you're cutting back on caffeine, this tea will help by keeping you with just enough caffeine in your system so you don't get those caffeine withdrawal headaches if you're trying to cut back. It should go without saying that this tea is an excellent addition to an ancestor altar this Samhain season. Traditional astrological Samhain is actually next weekend, November 7th, so you do have some time to get yours on our website at witchesteaflint.com. On behalf of our astrologer Leanne, who has her astrocasts on Sundays at 8 on our Facebook page, and myself, we wish you abundant blessings on this full moon and a happy Halloween. May your ancestors' journey across the veil be a blessed one with much needed clarity. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Join Witches Tea Flint on Tuesday for another Magical Musings. Another Spilling the Tea will be next Saturday. You can find us on Etsy at Witches Tea Flint, on Instagram, wherever you listen to podcasts, on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and on our website at witchesteaflint.com. Thank you so much for listening. Stay safe, stay healthy, drink more tea, and vibrate higher.